Alright, so this episode is going to be a little different than usual because being the genius that I am, I kind of forgot to turn my microphone on. I got a new microphone with phantom power, and I was commentating this entire time. So basically, it didn't record any audio. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to kind of narrate what was going on. So right now, I am in the progress of obviously landing in Pyro. If you don't know this map that well, the reason that I always used to land here is because it's so close to a giant military complex. But I don't like to go straight into that military complex as most players like to, because Pyro military base is a slaughterhouse for Bambis, but a key place to get some XP and some kills just for the hell of it for people who actually know what they're doing. And so what I like to do is go through a loot run, which I will speed up through for you guys and basically show you guys how I get geared up without going into Pyro military base. And so if you play on an Altus Hypop server like Dirty South Gaming, which is the server that I'm on right now, as you can see in the top right-hand corner, yeah, and so I'll speed through this loot run so you guys can see how I get geared pretty fast because not much happened during this loot run, but something a little interesting did happen after I landed. So I'll show you guys that in a bit. So in this bit, I'm just looting around, just trying to find some gear, as you do, and I noticed a strange noise, progressively getting louder, and I looked out the window to see this. It was an armored convoy with its lights turned off running through Pyro. Each one of those trucks has a 50 cal with a gunner on top of it, and each truck sits about 6 people. Now, obviously, I didn't shoot at the truck because I didn't want to get myself killed within, 5-10 minutes of being alive. So I kept minding my own business, but I made it my goal to try and destroy that convoy. Now, as I was leaving this tower, I came to the conclusion that I'm probably not going to find anything to help me with my goal of destroying that convoy until now. I found an M107, and for those of you who don't know, that is basically a duplicate of a Barrett 50 cal, which shoots a 50 caliber, basically, bullet. Well, it does shoot a 50 cal bullet. But anyway, I remember when I was in this tower that I saw a scope that I, for some reason, thought would go in my AK, even though it's not a AK variant of a scope. But luckily, I was able to snag the scope before it despawned, and at this point, I had enough gear with me to kill an army of 20 people, which was almost as many people who were on the server. Checking out the scope here, checking out the range, it only ranged to about, I think it was 300, which wasn't quite enough to get some kills in, but, or some kills from a range in, but, I kept the scope, I kept the sniper, I heard a lot of gunshots in the distance, and I knew that was the convoy, so I continued with my loot run after getting stuck on the stairs for a second, and, I'll speed through it so I can show you guys where I went next. So by this point in time, I had a 50 cal with a high zoom scope, a secondary which was an automatic pistol, and I think I had a spare sniper in my bag and a spare assault rifle in my bag with enough food and enough water for me to hold up for the next couple of days in this house. Now, by this point in time, I was making sure, obviously, that the house was clear because the doors were open. And I'm about to get set up, and I'll wait for daytime to arrive, and it's time to hunt some tower snipers and some Bambi. Now, as time passed, I noticed a Bambi parachuting into Pyro. This was a player who had died to an NPC recently, and I think he was just coming here to get re-geared. Now, you do spawn in this server with a firearm on you. If you notice in the intro, I spawned with a Lee Enfield on me. And I noticed this guy camping up on top of this tower. Now, even though that this player who just landed is armed, he is still a Bambi. That guy up in the tower has a high-powered sniper rifle. And if you didn't notice that right there, the Bambi managed to get a hit off on him. So that guy is currently hiding, and I'm trying to figure out where that Bambi is, because even though he just spawned and he is a semi-threat to me. But the bigger threat to me and to the Bambi is that guy camping up in the tower. So right now, I'm going to wait it out and see if I can't get a drop on this guy in the tower. Now, if you notice on my screen how I have 3 points ranged in the new ArmA patch, you can range in multiple points. And I think right about here, I get the drop on him, hit him in the head, and get the kill. Now, what those 3 points are each individual tower marked on the map. And so, if you don't have rangefinders, that's how you can see what the range is. And if you notice right by my ammo counts, I have about, this scope, the LPRS can only range to a minimum of 300. And most things are in between 200 and 300 meters away from me here. And I heard another gunshot, if you guys didn't, like that gunshot right there. And I noticed it's coming from the tower. It's right there. And so I peek right here in the window. Now, out of all the towers, that tower is the least threat to me because he can't see me unless I purposely peek and try to get a drop on him. But I noticed that the white tracers are flying through this guy, and I think that there's another guy in this tower. But it seems like I couldn't find anybody. I always check the field behind the towers too, because some people like to just hang out there and kill people. Now, there are 3 towers, and the one that I'm looking at right now is Entrance Tower, because it's the closest one. That one right there, I mark as Side Tower, because it's closer to the side of the military base. And then the one that's way in the corner that I occasionally peek at is Corner Tower, or Pyro Tower, or Abandoned Warehouse Tower. It can go by those 3 names, because it's the closest to Pyro, the only one that's smack dead in the middle of a corner, and the only one closest to a white, broken down abandoned warehouse, as you can see right beneath it. That white building that's right beneath it. Not the giant spherical white building, that's the dome. But, yeah, right now I'm just going to continue, quote-unquote, camping, and seeing if I can't get a drop on a couple more of these tower snipers who are just out to sit on top of a building and shoot people who don't stand a chance. Now, right about here, I noticed here a couple more shots, and I notice that guy who I thought was on the tower is on the tower. He doesn't know that I'm here, and he has his back to me. Now this tower is about 200 meters away from me, and when I took these first couple of shots at him, I thought I was ranged at 200, not realizing that the minimal range for my sniper is not 200, and you can see that they're missing. Third one got him in the head. He kind of walked into it, but I got my range a little bit messed up, and now I was a total of 4 out of what should have been 2 shots out of my magazine. And as always, I was looking around to see who he was trying to shoot at, because somebody was shooting at him, which caused him to stand up and move around. And so after taking that shot, I decided to come inside of this room, out of the majority of the tower's views, and just take a peek at the tower that I thought that he was looking at, and just to get a peek and see if that guy's coming back for his body. Now, if you can't notice those white particles right there, you gotta be blind. But those white particles are snow. For some reason, it starts snowing in the majority of servers once it hits around Christmas time. But the date that I'm recording this video and this voiceover for this video are on the same day. It's the 9th of September. And I think right there I noticed somebody. Oh wait, no, I remember what happened there. I accidentally shot around and scared the hell out of myself. It was a misclick. I made myself jump. God, I wish I would have gotten the live recording for that, but I didn't, unfortunately. But I'm just going to keep checking the towers, and yeah, The date that I'm recording this is the 9th of September 2016, and for some reason, the 9th of September, not the 9th of September, the 26th of September, excuse me, is just when it decides to start snowing in some servers, because apparently that's close enough to Christmas, even though it's not Halloween or Thanksgiving yet. But what do I know? But yeah, I'm just going to keep looking out for people, and I think I'm going to get a couple more kills before the end of the episode. And next episode, I will make sure that my freaking power supply is on so I can get a live recording of my voice. And right around about now, I think, I heard gunshots go off, and I noticed that the kill up on the kill feed on the top came from the military base. And then I noticed this guy right here running around. He was not the guy who took the shots. I think he's carrying a shotgun. But I never managed to get the drop on this guy initially. I think I might have been able to take a shot right there, but I didn't because I wasn't sure what he was up to. But I am now aware that there's at least 2 more people in and around the base, and that third guy might potentially come back for his body with the addition of the 2 people who I have already killed. And so now there's about 4 or 5 people around the base, and then the snow starts back up again. So yeah, happy holidays, I guess. Now for the guy that I'm about to spot, I will give props to him because I almost didn't see him. He's smart enough to not have his head go fully over the railing. But that's a ghillied sniper up there. And this was the guy who died by the Uzi, I believe. But the guy on the tower, the corner tower, has returned. And he's focused on the corner tower guy, and the corner tower guy is focused on him. And I still have about 5 rounds left in my gun. And I wasn't sure if a bullet through the leg would have killed him, so I didn't bother, but I waited for him to react to the shots, and then shot him square in the head. And now I'm focused on trying to figure out where these shots are coming from. They're not coming from that tower, unfortunately. But I am still aware of more players in and around the military base, which means more kills for me and my rifle. Now, I'm going to continue checking to see if that guy comes back for his body. And I know that that guy's back up there again. And let's just hope I get a drop on him before I run out of ammo or the server restarts. Now this bit I am going to replay and slow down for those of you who didn't notice what I saw initially. If you pay attention to the staircase on top, you'll notice a purple thing just kind of go by. Right about now, I believe. Now that purple thing that goes by right about here, that's some guy just hauling ass up the stairs. Now he ran really fast up there, and it took me a second to realize until I saw him, his character model glitch through, and then I saw him standing up right there. This was that same guy coming back for his gear. And so, luckily with ArmA, if you're far away from an object, you can see through its walls sometimes. And that thing right there, I thought that was his foot, but turns out that was a shotgun, and that was the gun that he spawned with. So right now, since he's still gearing up, I'm checking this tower just to make sure that that guy's, you know, not peeking around. Which unfortunately he wasn't. But now that I know, this guy's back up here again. Now I personally think he's just going to get his gear and go. But what these events that are going to unfold here in the next couple of seconds proves that 1 bullet to the head wasn't enough to teach him a lesson. And, well, if you've ever heard of the definition of insanity, it's doing the same thing over and over again and, well, expecting different results. And, well, I'd say this guy is pretty insane. Like, I swear at this point in time, I'm beginning to think that there was a party or some shit going on in that tower, because people seem to enjoy coming into this tower. But if you didn't notice, right about here, if you looked in the window, I saw 2 guys. I'm going to slow it down for you guys, but if you look at those 2 windows that are right next to each other, with the dark line in between them, you'll see one guy go up the stairs there, and then another guy right there at the window. And I moved to the side once I noticed that guy at the window. And then I notice that this guy, second guy, comes up to the roof. I think he's going to loot his body. Now here I was debating on whether or not to shoot this guy. I figured I might as well shoot the guy with gear first, but the guy with gear never peeked, and he was right there. So I managed to get a drop on him and take him out. But unfortunately, the second guy managed to get away. Now, by about this part in the video, the second guy came back up to the tower, and I knew with him back up there, his friend would be soon behind him. And well, it seemed to be the case. I managed somehow to actually get a drop on him. And so by that point in time, both him and his friend were both taken out. His friend, who I thought would have been soon behind him, ended up not being soon behind him, and he was checking his friend's gear so his friend's body wouldn't have disappeared. Because, if you didn't know about ArmA 3, if you leave a body unattended for more than about 5 to 10 minutes long, it'll disappear. But if you stare in the inventory, it won't disappear because it's registered to what's going on your computer or something like that. And so he was trying to save his friend's kit, but his friend's, greediness to save his own gear, smack dead in the middle of a military base, in the middle of a military tower where he could have gotten gear back pretty fast, got his friend killed. Now, I continue to scope out the rest of the military base, but I don't actually fire off my last bullets. Now, I thought I had 2 mags, because when I picked up this rifle, I originally had 2 mags, but ArmA has this glitch where sometimes in Exile, your second mags, or your extra mags disappear. And so, unfortunately, I only had 1 more round in this sniper rifle. But, for the next episode that I do of this, I still have that assault rifle and the other sniper rifle in my bag. So, those will be put to use in the next episode. So thank you guys so much for watching. I know this was a bit of a different video. I never managed to kill that guy, so I'm not even going to leave it in the video. But once again, thank you guys so much for watching. My name's Casanova. I'll see you guys in the next episode of ArmA 3 EXILE, hopefully with live commentary. Or maybe you guys like this version more. I don't know. But, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. And have a nice night, I guess. Hooray.